Hello, everybody. Have you ever you looked at your clock and you had like 10 minutes and then you did something and next thing you know, like you're 1 minute late? So good evening, everyone. This is C. Thanks for coming to chat with me. It's our Monday meetup where every Monday you get some content at 7 p.m., whether it be a premiere or a live stream. And this Monday we are live because we have a trip announcement. And who doesn't love a trip announcement? I'm sorry, I'm putting this little post-it note. I hate looking at the ticker that says how many people are in the live. I get very distracted by that. It makes me very nervous. So I had to put like a little post-it note over top of the ticker so that nobody could see or that y'all couldn't, I can't see how many people are here. But hello, everybody. It's Carlene. This is my channel, C, and we are live with the Monday meetup where we don't go live every Monday. We go live when there's a trip announcement. And of course, every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern time, there is content. So in this week, we have a trip announcement. It's very exciting. At least I'm getting excited. So let's chat about that. And this is a space where we chat about some of the content that I have made, where, as YouTubers, we don't get to really get deeply into a lot of the content and we don't get to get deep into some of the specifics. So I like to give some information related to, not information, but details, tips, etc. About some of the things I didn't elaborate on my videos. We have first in the building, MSC Ventures saying hello, Carlene. Hello, Rockwell. I know. Thanks for taking time to be here and be the first in the chat. Thanks for being a channel member. And really appreciate your time because I know you are probably multitasking like a chicken with her head cut off because Rockwell will be one of the channels who will be, and businesses who will be representing on MSC World America's preview cruise on Wednesday. So congratulations, Rockwell, on that. And thanks for being here. Thanks for being a channel member. Who else we got in the chat? We got Kristen in the building saying, hey, cruise mates and sweet mates. And Rockwell, I don't know if you have much time you have, if you have double extra time or whatever. At some point, I maybe want to invite you up to chat about a couple things. Who else we got? Kristen's here saying, hey, cruise mates and sweet mates. YouTube has been tripping this week and not sending notifications. Oh, no. Good to know, Kristen. Yeah, YouTube can get really finicky about when it sends its notifications. And I know sometimes it's hard to keep track of am I going to have a live? Am I going to have a premiere? Basically, if you go onto the tab or usually on the, what is it called? The community tab every Monday. In the morning on Mondays, definitely before the evening, I usually post if it's going to be a live stream or if it's going to be a premiere. Or if I'm for some reason not able to get on, which my goal is every Monday at 7, you're going to either get a new video or going to get a new live stream. In case you ever wondered, where am I? Just go to the community tab. But yeah, YouTube can be very finicky about notifications. So, and I was late. I was 2 minutes late because I had gotten a rabbit hole trying to prepare because I was usually I get in the middle of the chat and I'm oh crap, I forgot to have some slides ready, or I forgot to have this or that ready. And today I left work late. I got home, I sat down for 3 seconds, and then as I was preparing, I got in the rabbit hole. Next thing I looked up, I was oh, it's 7:01. And I do not like being late. Particularly when other people are involved. I don't mind being late for myself because when I tell y'all I've been back to work in person maybe 5 weeks now. And when I say I can count the number of times I got to work on time on one hand, yeah. So thanks for being here, Kristen. Thanks for being a channel member and moderator. And yep, it makes sense. She agrees the notifications been tripping. I wonder what are they doing that are messing up notifications? That's so weird. Jay Coleman says, hey, gorgeous. Hello, Jay. I appreciate the AI touch up because again, when I say this whole return to work in person, and the circumstances I'm returning to work in, y'all ain't about to promote nobody. Y'all not about to get nobody no raises. So when I say I've been going to work in sweatsuits sometimes, if the spirit leads me, that's what's been happening. Because I'm this job is paying for these trips. And that's about it right now. Hello, Crazy Homebody Girl saying, hey, Crazy Homebody, welcome in. Thanks for being here. Sig the Solo Cruisers in the building saying, hey, C. Hey, Sig. Thanks for popping by. Seth Stone is in the building, my good DMV cousin or channel member and subscriber, and saying what up, C, what's good to the chat. Hopefully everybody's having a happy Monday, as Yolo has said. Everybody rolling here deep. Welcome, welcome, welcome. TJ's Destinations is here saying hello to everybody. Sharo, the wrenches are in the building, is saying evening, C in chat. Monet to the T is here. Welcome in, Monet. Monet was one of the people that I first met like as a baby channel. When I was on the first Melanin at Sea, Regina had organized the dinner together, and Monet was at our table, and we had a good old time just running our mouths that night. And can y'all hear me okay? I am not all up on the mic, but I also don't want to be super loud either. Big Murph is in the building saying what up, C, and what up to the chat. On the go, Yellow's here speaking. Turkisha, hey girl. Good to see you in here, Turkisha girl. My cruiser family's in here. I stumbled, my cruiser family, I'm preparing, as I prepare for this trip that I'm about to announce today. I was on your, well, actually I was not on your channel. I was looking for a specific room type, and you were like the fourth video that popped up in all the world of YouTube. So the algorithm is clearly working, and it was helpful to see. So hang around. We have a trip announcement tonight. But I have some topics for the docket, because as y'all know, I like to talk about some of the things that I released. Actually, I don't know. I don't think I like any of these things on the docket. I know I released videos related to, you all got the full Regent 7 Seas video, which has done really good. I released it on like Sunday at midnight, and that thing has popped off. A lot of people have subscribed to the channel. So welcome in if you are a new subscriber from that video. I released my, what is it called? Christmas in a Q Suite. So flying on Qatar Airways. So if y'all have any questions about that content or any of the content that you've seen, this is the space too where I like to elaborate, because I can't, give all the secrets and details and the things that happen behind the scenes, and how did I almost get kicked off the plane. I don't have a time to tell all of that sometimes when you're trying to edit into a 20-minute video. So if you saw any of my content and you have a question about it, pop it in the chat. But of course, we are going to get to the much anticipated trip announcement. Raquel says she's here and can make time, and we thank you, Raquel, always making time for the cruise tube community. Marilyn Mel Tibbs is here saying hey. Yellow says can't wait to see the content with the exclamation point. So okay, you are the third person, Turkisha, says YouTube has been tripping. So what is it not coming to your phone? Because my thing is like, I don't know if notifications work or not, because I'm on my phone so much. Like I know the people, I feel like anytime like my supervisor or the lady above her pop by my cubicle, or any of my coworkers pop by my cubicle, I know they're like, does she do any work? Because I'm always like, I have my phone in my hand. I got YouTube up on the screen, and I'm just doing 5 to 10 things at once. And so like I'll just already be on YouTube and just see like the little notifications. So I don't even know how notifications work, because I have the phone in my hand all the time. And let's take a peek. Welcome in 32 people. Thanks for being here. My name is Carlene. I'm your 9-to-5 solo travel girly. I travel like I don't work. And thanks for being here. This is the Monday meetup, where I don't go live every Monday, but I go live when there is a trip announcement, or I premiere every Monday at 7. So thank y'all for being here. This is our time to chat. This is like the cruise. I always call this the 201 or 401 class, like the advanced level. Like you got to do your homework to come into my chat, because we're not doing beginning chats. We got the deep questions here. And Desiree is saying, hey, Carlene in the chat. Turkisha says, not if the spirit leads me. Look, you gotta let the spirit lead you. I try on everything. Regina is here, and this is actually a good time to pause for the cause. So I don't know if y'all remember, like a couple of lives ago, Regina was in here. Nicole Charnel was in here. A Traveling Black Couple was in here. Kelly Angel Tony was in here, and we were all talking about books and how we like to read on a cruise ship. And Regina was like, oh, and at first I thought like, dang, it's taking a long time. Like we're going to lose people watching the channel, like losing people who, are on the live stream because we're talking about so much books. But Regina was like, oh, it should be a community. So I was thinking about like, how can I make this like love to read on a cruise ship into like some kind of like chat community, and by special request. Let's see if I can share this correctly today. That's something else. I don't want to do that one. I don't want to add the Google Slides, girl. Okay. 1 second. Google wants me to commit my life to answer all these questions. Hopefully that worked. Okay. Here we go. Select this one. I was thinking about it. Hold on 1 second. It's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it. StreamYard is processing. StreamYard, you are on paid for time. All right. So this is the one. I have added the community Ships and Scripts. So if you are interested in chatting about, and at first I was like, let's just do books. But I was like, that might be a little too specific. So let's do, hopefully y'all can still see that. Let's do anything media related. So you can come in the group and talk about shows. You can talk about where you like to read on the ship. You can do a book review. You can do a play review. There's the link to Ships and Scripts. It's a private group just so that people can, we can regulate, make sure we don't have any trolls. But there's a community for people who love media and love anything related to cruise ships. So if you want to get in, we started talking about Beyond the Gates, which is the new, what is it called? Soap opera. It's open to everyone. I try to do some invites based on my people who have popped in the chat, who have mentioned books or reading on the ship, or even if you stream or you read your Kindle on the ship. Come and talk, show places that you like to read on your books and on ships, those kind of things. Come in, pop in. We'd love to have you get to chatting, create topics. So yeah, so that's a new concept that I rolled out as of Sunday, Ships and Scripts. So invite yourself, I'll approve you, and just get to chatting. So hopefully y'all like that concept. So what are your thoughts? Let's bring that back down. Let's get back into the chat and see who else we have in here. Mrs. Parker is in the building saying, hey fam, happy Monday, Siobhan. And again, thanks for getting me through another long Monday with your what is it called? Your Monday lunchtime live. And it's so funny, when I was pulling the slides to get ready for today, I feel like a slide deck from April 10th. And I was just like, this looks so familiar. It's a blast from the past. I'm going to show that deck of slides because I literally was like, oh my gosh, like I feel like I talked some of this stuff up into like fruition. Okay, back into who else we got. Folks are, okay, who we got here? My Cruising Family says, woohoo, happy to be helpful. And I'm seeing that notification for your comment right now. Yes, thank you so much. Same type of room. I think I'm going to be like 4 decks higher. So that'll be interesting to see how things are going. On a Golioso, so I was rewatching for research purposes. Cool. She said she gets most notifications. Yeah, I just have my phone in my hand, so I don't even know what frequently a notification looks like because I'm there. Monet to the Sea says, yes, Mass 1.0 was so much fun. I love how the solos naturally, yeah, and that was all Regina. Regina literally, like, I think we were in a hallway or something, and we were talking in one of those situations where people were lingering around, and it was kind of like, well, let's have dinner together. And Regina made it happen. She went, talked to the Major D. We got, next thing I know, we had a table of 5, and we were laughing and crying within 30 to 45 minutes. So it was a pleasure to meet you, and I'm looking forward to sailing with you again, Monet. Turkisha says her notifications coming in a day or 2. That sounds very broken. Lala B says, hey, Carlene, return to the office has been exhausting, and I need to purchase clothes, y'all. And a piece of me is like protesting being back in the office. So a piece of me is like, I know this return is a money grab because literally I just go in person to do the same stuff I'm doing at home that I was doing at home. Like there's no collaboration that's happening, which I'm okay with. But literally, so I have been protesting them, like I don't buy my lunch downtown. I don't buy my lunch. Like I'm like, y'all not getting no more money out of me. And I'm also protesting of like, I'm not about to run out to these stores and buy all these clothes, because professional for what? Like this, like some of the stuff that's going down is not professional. So nope, I've been in work in like sweatsuits, tennis shoes, getting the job done, because like to be presentable and and get there on time, you're asking for a whole lot. Hey Jaretha, welcome in, girl. On to Go Yellow says, I started following one of the ladies you mentioned. I don't remember. Who did I mention? You Lola, you know I like to run my mouth, so I mentioned a whole bunch of people. Oh, you talking about book authors? And that's again the link to if you want to join the Facebook community, which is Ships and Scripts. There's also IG where I plan on doing like some reposting of like spaces around ships, that kind of thing. So it's at Ships and Scripts on IG if you want to follow there. But the Facebook group is going to be more the interactive, like posts, you know, if you see a really cute nick on the ship that you want, like you think people could read in, if you find a good book recommendation. We started talking about Dr. Odyssey, which I don't know if y'all follow Dr. Odyssey. It's pure trash, but it's based on a cruise ship. Kristen says the series is getting better. I stopped after like episode 3 because I was just like, what the heck is this? Like Survivor is probably a good one to talk about, because I don't know if y'all know, Rome was from the guy Rome. He was a YouTuber at one point. So a lot of us knew him from there. We were watching like that. So it's basically a space to like come together, talk about ships, talk about scripts, talk about media. So yeah, join us. It's free. Stone said a dope logo. And let me tell you something. Hold on, I'll pull this down. We want to thank Canva for her services, because when I say that AI, and I know like Team Reese Travels, Ray from Team Reese is really big on AI. I finally like let AI do something for me, because I'm still kind of hesitant to just be like, hey, Chat GPT, like make a script for me, or hey, Chat GPT, can you do this? Can you do that? Tell me about this. I'm still very old school and like, I want to go research. I want to go find the things. But I knew when I rolled out the concept on like Facebook and stuff, like it was going to be really, really weird to roll this out with like a generic logo. So I literally typed into Canva like, hey, these are the colors that I want. This is, you know, this. And that's what the first time it was a miss. The first time it was probably too formal. And then I accidentally deleted it and I redid it. And then this one popped up and I was like, that's it. That's the one. So this at least is a starting logo. So shout out to, you know, if you want to outsource anything to AI, there you go. So thank you for the compliment, Steph, and join us over in the Facebook group. Is Facebook a good platform for that? Because I have also encountered people who are like, yeah, I don't do the Facebook thing. Like, I think Facebook is for like a certain generation. But I don't know like what other platform would be like appropriate. Like, we're definitely not going to do a message board. So you get a Facebook group for the meantime. Mark Hackett's in the building saying, what up, C? Happy Monday, sis. Love the hair once again. Yeah, I went longer. So this was a 2-day job, again, on myself. I did it on my own, again, trying to outsource, because we don't know when, you know, the Hunger Games might make us run. And if the Hunger Games happen, I'm going to be a beautician. I'm just letting y'all know that. So that's why I need to practice on myself, because that's going to be the skill that I barter, because I don't know how else, like, I don't have any other trade to like barter. And I think I could probably like do a couple nails or something. I could probably watch kids for like 30 minutes. I am an educator by training, but like I have not like been in a classroom in a very long time. So like 30-minute max on that bartering. But yeah, I wanted to go longer this time. So went longer. It took me a couple days, but this is what you get. So this will be my hair for at least another month. Who else you got? Thank you. Damian Quanda in the building saying, hey, Carlina chat. Damian Quanda, I thought about y'all earlier today, because of course I was watching all of the MSC World America live streams. And still nobody has done the entrance into the Miami Canal like Icon. But I was giggling because when World America did her turn, they had people on that damn swing. And I was like, y'all better work what y'all got. So yeah, good to see y'all in the chat. Thanks for popping by. G Fox in the building. What up, G? Thanks for popping by. Good to see you in here. Monatus, he says, actually, I love Beyond the Gates. So then get into Ships and Scripts because we started. And I'm going to for Beyond the Gates, I'm going to create posts for each episode so that people who want to start from the beginning don't get messed up with the people who are I'm on episode 16. And when I say that damn Danny is crazy, Danny is out of control. And the bug eyes don't help. But I will say these people are made for stories. They look like characters from I need to stop saying I was listening to a replay and I was telling myself, Carlene, stop saying so much. Anywho, I just heard myself doing it. Anywho, they all look as if they could be the stories such as All My Children. I'm gonna have to give it up because it's not gonna work this live stream. But stories like All My Children, stories for instance, Passions. I didn't get into Passions too much. General Hospital. And my issue was, as a child, I was very what is it called? I was very traumatized because my babysitter, when we would get home from school, we had a period where we could not talk for an hour, almost 2 hours, 90 minutes, because Miss Kelly, you were not interrupting her stories. And so as a child, I was I don't know what the hell these stories are, but I don't want to ever get into them if I'm going to act like that. So fast forward some years later, to have a soap opera that features people of color, is given the same trash storylines, but it gets you engaged, it gets you talking back to the TV. So I'm very excited to have some stories as an adult. So my story's on, okay? Miss Parker says, I asked, was it Passions? I think I just aged myself. And I tried to get into Passions, I think, but I still didn't understand the concept of stories aren't supposed to be good TV. It's supposed to be really trash TV. They learn the scripts really quickly because they have these shows every day. So I didn't understand Passions, but then Passions got weird because I remember trying to tune back into Passions, and I think I got this one right. There was a witch, there was a little person. It got real weird quick. So far, Beyond the Gates is relatable. If you haven't heard what Beyond the Gates is, it's a modern day soap opera. It's based off of Potomac, Maryland, which is a very ritzy area here in the DMV. And it's based on this family. It's based on a family who is well-to-do, history of politics, public figures where they're very much concerned about their image and all the crazy thing that goes on around this family, but they're still trying to protect their image. So if you want to chat about Beyond the Gates with us, join Ships and Scripts. And here's the link to the Facebook group. Just add yourself and I will approve entries. It's open to men and women. So come on in there if you want to talk about any of the shows or any book recommendations, any plays, any Broadway shows. For instance, I know Hell's Kitchen is doing its thing in NYC. Come in there and chat. Leave your book recommendations. Hey, Ashley. Perfect. Ashley, come in and ship some. Ashley done read 100 books already this year. I know for sure. Ashley, we need you, sis. Good to see you in here too. Who else you got? Regina says, ooh, Passions. Remember that. Yes. I was like, Ashley, come on to Ships and Scripts. We'd love to have you, girl. Miss Parker says, Virginia was horrible, but I loved it. And Passions got weird quick. So even then when I got to Passions, when Passions came out, I looked at Passions and was sitting there this is too weird. But Beyond the Gates is It's just enough Delulu that it's not too, unbelievable. So there we go. My Cruiser family says my grandma used to love watching Passion. She and my little cousins would be glued in. And see, Miss Kelly, my babysitter, she was a General Hospital and a all my children kind of girl, which such an iconic theme song for was it General Hospital with the little doom 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 doom. Took you back down memory lane. I aged myself. Supposed to talking about that. On the Go Yellow says, I use AI with my first, best, and all the rest, just segment pages. Oh, wow. See, I have not used AI to edit yet. I've used AI to cut out my ums. When I was using, I no longer use CapCut, but when I was using CapCut, the paid for edition had an element, a feature where you could, it would analyze your scripts and it would take out the ums. And so if you can tell, I use a lot of fillers. I use a lot of ums. I use a lot of likes. I probably should change that. But then somebody pointed out to me, if you ever listen to Barack Obama speak, he literally does all the things that people say do not do as a speaker. And he's fine. So I guess I can and like it up a little bit, but I just was listening to, I like to listen to I prefer to listen to the replays after, like usually several times after I do a live stream. And I noticed the last time I was like, God dog, I was liking that thing all the way up. Danielle Quan, this is AI is taking over, so might as well use it to your advantage. Might as well. But oh yeah, so I was saying that they have a feature where it trims to the ums. But here's why you need people. So I used the filter that took out all the ums, but then I noticed that it can get too choppy, particularly if you are an ummer or a lot like me. So I still had to go back and make sure that it didn't chop up too many of my ums. We got Miss Parker saying all the grandmas watched. Who else we got here? Talking. Let me get down here. Not all your grandmas watch. See, now y'all making me feel like I had an old grandma, because my grandma read the tabloids. Like she would buy the thing at the grocery store with like Monkey Man, and she would buy what's it called, the National Enquirer, those kind of things. My grandma did not watch stories too much, but my babysitter was definitely heavy on the stories. And I just hated it as a child because she just wanted you to come in and sit down and shut up. But the thing is, I'm like, the stories never go off. It was like a 2-hour block the stories were on. And we would get there 30 minutes in and we just had to sit down and shut up. Regina asks, what do y'all think about the recasting on Beyond the Gates? I know there was a lot of buzz around that recently. There was a recasting already? Was it with Karen? Was the Karen Huger situation? Because I wasn't sure if Karen was just supposed to be there to do that first Potomac introduction as like the Real Housewives of Potomac, or she was actually supposed to have a standing character. Who got recast? Because I'm only at episode 16. Only episode 16. So I didn't know. Did they do Aunt Viv situation? Did somebody go up the steps and never come back? Not the babysitter causing trauma. Listen, adults cause children trauma. It is a Tyler. Well, I don't think it's definitely produced in Georgia. I don't think it is a but I don't know if he produces it or not. But it's very Tyler Perry-esque. It's true. It's not deep TV. It's put together really quickly, but it's yeah. it evokes conversation. Who else we got here? Oh, Poverty of Paradise. Thank you for becoming a YouTube member, Poverty of Paradise. I know she is on the ship somewhere. She's doing a repositioning cruise. I think it's a repositioning cruise. She went through the Panama Canal, live streamed that. And I think she was like somewhere in the Pacific Ocean today when I kind of was scanning through YouTube. So yes. What else you got? Folks are laughing. Young and the Restless. Yes, Young and the Restless. And see, I can't tell y'all who was who. I just remember they were all stories. And either you had to go outside or you just had to sit inside and be quiet. I want to go, yo, says, I think the last soap opera I watched was The Days of Our Lives. That was another one, Days of Our Lives. So wait, which one was it do? As the clock spins, these are the days of our life. Do I still got it down pat? I don't know. So yeah, and so I never paid attention to know, even though if they were trash. But Beyond the Gates is trash. It's just good TV. So you see, all of y'all who are talking about stories like Dallas. Dallas is the original story. Dallas was beyond. Now Dallas was my mom's story because Dallas came on in the evening, which was an amazing concept. And I'm like, I don't know why they put Beyond the Gates in regard. And we're gonna talk about trips and cruising, y'all. But the people want to talk about stories right now. I don't know. They put Dallas in the evening, which was perfect. Perfect for like watching. Like Beyond the Gates comes out at 3 p.m. I think Margaret Logan says come out 3 p.m. Like we're not home at 3 p.m. And we're not the same generation where, well, I don't know now that we got telework back. We are kind of cycling back to we have more people at home now at 3. I was going to say like there's a period that we were the generation that everybody was out the house and we no longer had like the people who were like at home, you know, making the working at home moms, people who are at home. Now we have so many teleworkers. 3 o'clock makes sense. They had to watch Young and the Restless in their dorm room. Yep, Young and the Restless. My god sister was in college in the 80s. It was Young and the Restless, and everybody gathered to watch A Different World at Hampton. Bold and the Beautiful. Y'all better throw it on back. And you see how the trauma comes was forced. And see, I refused. I was just like, to hell, I'm going outside. 6 says, I say, and you know, a lot. Yeah, it becomes fillers. And I remember, as again, another moment of childhood trauma. My god sister is a communications major. And I remember one time, again, I was liking it up, like, had a whole little Valley Girl moment. And my god sister turned and she was like, don't tell me how it's like, tell me how it is. And I was just like, then I became a stutterer. So just kidding, but not really. Equal amounts of trauma. So love you, Kim Kim. T. Reese Travel says, dang, I forgot about the tabloids. Yep, my grandma, anytime we went to the grocery store line, she would grab tabloids. And one was about more tabloids about like, what is it called? Hollywood. And then one was like the tabloids about like really weird stuff. Like they would see relics and the Monkey Man, and maybe we saw Bigfoot. And my grandma would read that stuff. She would go to bed early, but she wouldn't go to sleep. My grandma had this whole nighttime routine where she would take her shower, and about 8 o'clock she was in her bed. And my grandma had like wonderful, like all of us wanted to do this as like my cousins, because we would get it, like she had these beautiful nightgowns. So we would go to bed, like get in bed, wear grandma nightgown, grandma would be in the bed, and she would like have the not nightlight, but her lamp on, and she would read the stories. I mean, not the stories, she would read her tabloids, and when she was done, she would pass it to you, and you would be in your nightgown, and you know, like at this point, I was probably like 5 or 6. So, you know, starting to read, immersion reading. But in my head, again, trauma, I just see like the Monkey Boy, and I'm just like, what is my grandmother reading? Like, Ted got recast. Now I gotta go look and see who see. Y'all like to use these people names. I don't know these people's names. I just know their faces. Is Ted Richardson the pastor from Amen? Don't tell me he gets swapped out. And if he gets swapped out, y'all done spoiled it for me. But that's why we need ships and scripts. We're gonna do it episode by episode. Want to go? Yellow says yes. Wrestling stories and the wrestling. Sit down and shut up. See, I ain't have to sit down for wrestling. But the stories, definitely sit down and shut up. They done recasted somebody already last month. Jesus, and folks are speaking. Cool. Knots Landing. And didn't they remake Knots Landing? Hey, Michelle, welcome in, girl. Thanks for being here. Thanks for chatting it up. And then, yes, people would die and then come back again, or they'll be underneath a piece of rubble. Who's this? Regina. Now, Falcon's Crest, y'all might have went over my head with Falcon's Crest. She says it reminds her of Dynasty. Diane Carroll was that girl. Yes. Diane Carroll. I recently saw a meme that said, like, if you want to know why I'm extra, this is who raised me. And it was like a picture of like Diane Carroll, Eartha Kitt. Who was that? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I just saw a message pop up on my phone. There was a message that like Diane Carroll, Eartha Kitt, and Jackie, like they were all in the background. It was like, if you ever wonder why I'm extra, like this is who raised me. Regina says, my grandma called the tabloids the rags. Anyone else grandma did that? We are aging ourselves, friends. Like sands through the hourglass. So are the days. Thank you, ZD. ZD, we needed that. Thank you so much. Gina's World says, back in the day, we only had 2 TVs in the house. The one in my parents' room was off limits, and I was the youngest one stuck seeing every ABC. So trauma. So, y'all are really going back down memory lane. Okay, cool. So let's get into it. We might as well, I know, let's see what we got here. Hello, 46 people. My name is Carlene, and this is my channel, Stay With C. And I cannot believe y'all have stuck through us talking about the stories, but there's a trip announcement. So my name is Carlene, it's my channel, Stay With C. Every Monday, we either have a live stream where we are talking about travel and cruising, mostly cruising, or we have a premiere where I'm premiering a travel blog and we are talking, and you can tell the people are getting into talking about all of those old school stories and those kind of things. So if you want to talk more about like shows, media, book reviews, those kind of things, join my Facebook community. It's called Ships and Scripts, where we just talk about where you like to read on a cruise ship, talk about, go down episode by episode for certain shows. So pop on in there and get to talking. But tonight is a trip announcement, which is why you all are here. And I feel like this one is not like super, what is it called? Make it bigger. Come on. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm trying to make myself go back here. There we go. I'm back. I feel like this one's not, where am I going? Where am I going? Because I feel like I spilled the beans. Like, I did not do a good job of keeping this one under wraps. I was trying to keep this one under wraps so bad. And as I got closer, I think I got excited because it is a cruise. It's a cruise, and I have not done a Caribbean cruise in a long time. Like, my last few cruises have been the Mediterranean. The last cruise has been like a Mediterranean cruise, which is very different type of cruising. The last cruise I was on was a 7-day on Celestial Journeys, which was cruising to Dubai. That series is coming, but I'll probably have to push up the cruise I'm about to get on content in front of that, but it's coming. It's coming. I got so much stuff in my camera. I'm like, I need to get it out. But I did Celestial Journeys cruising to Dubai. That's just a different type of cruising. I did Region 7 Seas, Mediterranean cruising, very different. So I love a good Caribbean cruise. My cruise family says, yes, you've been going real far. So I am getting on MSC World America and doing the inaugural cruise on, and this is where I get to invite Raquel up, doing the inaugural cruise out of Miami on this coming weekend. So it'll be a 7-day cruise with port stops going to Puerto Plata, Puerto Plata, which I'm excited about because I get to preview my, because as you all know, I'm hosting a group cruise, and Puerto Plata will be one of the stops. And the last time I went to do like a reconnaissance mission at Puerto Plata, I got rained out. So I'm excited I get to go to Puerto Plata because I can scope out the scene preparing for the Good Government Getaway, which if you are interested in that trip, look, I could also present this. Sorry, no. Yep, there we go. Add the stage. Go back this way. Bop. Here we go. Take this down. if you're interested in that group cruise, it's August 29th. It's still time through September 3rd, and we're going to Puerto Plata and to Bimini, Bahamas on Virgin Voyages for Labor Day weekend. Would love to have you. But I get to use this opportunity to prepare for my own group cruise, because the last time I went to go prepare for my group cruise going to Puerto Plata, I got rained out. Then we get a couple of sea days, which I'm excited because the 2 sea days will allow me to really explore the ship. It's a big ship. And then we get to go to Ocean Cay, which the last time, if you call my MSC Seashore vlog, Ocean Cay Marine Reserve, they had already begun to make some enhancements. Like I noticed Ocean Cay Marine Reserve, like the first time I went to, I'm like all over the place. This is my 4th MSC cruise. So I sailed on MSC Meraviglia was my first. MSC Seascape was my second. MSC Seashore was my 3rd. And this will be my 4th MSC cruise on World America. So, well, first time I ever went to Ocean Cay was when I got on Meraviglia. And Ocean Cay, like the bay in the middle of one of the beaches, I think the South Beach area, they reported that lagoon area got 40 feet. Like it was deep. And MSC was just letting the people swim out there. And I was just like, there is an accident waiting to happen because it's also not very clear water. And sure enough, someone like drowned in that section. So I realized like the last time I went there, they had made it shallow. They had, I guess, added some sand to it. So they brought up the bottom. So now it's still swimmable, but it's not that, like, I was like, when I get on ships, I'm like, this is a liability. I think it's a part of my profession where I'm just like, that's a liability. That's a liability. I work with too much special education law. So I'm like, that can get you in trouble. That can get you sued. But they also have other areas. Like I heard they're supposed to be adding more food carts. I witnessed on MSC Seashore, they had built out this new beach that's almost like it's almost like a baby beach where literally the water never gets deeper than maybe 2 feet. And so it's really starting to evolve. So I get to go back to Ocean Cay Marine Reserve to see the developments that have happened there. But as you all know, I am a ship girl. Like I love ships. But I also have some reservations with some of the aesthetics of MSC, like don't fully do it for me. Like their ships tend to have a lot of browns. I was looking today on the webcams. Like I think I watched 3 different webcams and I watched them all, bring in World America in different angles. And sometimes I wish MSC would just add a little more like tropical colors. It seemed like they added some at the top, but the ships don't really do it for me. So it'll be interesting to see if I get the feeling about the ship that I actually like the ship, or am I just on the ship? I will say to MSC's credit, I really love the layout of Meraviglia, particularly its adults only area. And if I can see the Zen area that they have on MSC World America is similar to Meraviglia. Also, some of the interior areas that there's a roundabout that you can look down, kind of remind me of Meraviglia. It also seems that they have some kind of outdoor dance party, where on Meraviglia the club was mostly situated outside unless there was inclement weather. I really like that, and it seems like they might be doing that, a little more of those parties on World America, even though I know there is a nightclub section. So I'm excited to see because outside they're going to have their black and white ships. So I'm interested to see what the feel of it is. I got a glimpse of World Europa when I was in Rome. I was sailing through Civicchia, and World Europa was right across the way. So the size is really nice, but I want the feels. I'm curious to see how the spaces, how the spaces feel, and B, what kind of activities end up on the ship. I do know, and I'm supposed to be, I gotta invite Rockwell. Rockwell, if you want to come up to chat a little bit about what has you excited. That's the link there. But we have some people who we know will be on the preview sailing. Like I know that a Rich and Jazzy Life have mentioned they will be on the preview sailing on Wednesday. I know Raquel from MHM Adventures is going to be on the preview selling on Wednesday. I know Danielle is going to be on the preview selling. I know Addie and Terry mentioned they'll be there on Wednesday. So I'll be at work on Wednesday. Like I know that MSC invite is coming soon. Didn't come this year. I actually had this cruise booked way back. I booked this because somebody was like, I thought you said you weren't doing any more inaugurals. And I'm like, I'm trying to remember when I said that because I had booked this cruise June 2023. Like I knew I was going to be on the ship because I had a feeling that this was going to be the main event for cruising for the year. Like I know Star of the Seas is coming out, but I think Icon kind of stole some of its thunder. We know what to expect for a Star. Aqua, Norwegian Aqua, I would say is a close second in regards to still in the cruising show. Thank y'all. But I think all eyes are on MSC right now because it's finally this is the 8th largest ship in the world. And they are really trying to break into the market. And here's where I was like, I think MSC and I had saw like some of the writings on the wall in regards to what they were. I gotta add this one. Can I do this one? Let me see. I want to show y'all something because in April 10th, 2024, so about a year ago, I had went live for lunch. I had did lunchtime live, and I had made a set of slide decks. And in the set of slide decks, like your girl I be peeping game. I had mentioned this, like the decks had like, I told y'all, okay, here was the swing and all that stuff. But my first slide deck was this fella here, Reverend Dr. E, who, if you know Dr. E, he's from Carnival. Well, we know him from Carnival. I don't know if if his career started at Carnival or what, but he had released this. Let me see. Hopefully I can get this up. He had released this April last year. 1 second. Okay, this is not that's the slide. I need to get the link. Hold on. I need to click the link somehow. Oh crap. How do I click the link? Let's see. Oh crap. So I want to show y'all this clip from him. Let me get this up. Show y'all this clip. Because if this ain't the writings on the wall, I don't know what is. Okay, so boom. Sorry, I'm trying to navigate StreamYard. Present. Share. Can I share my screen? Share screen. This one. Boom. Okay. Thank y'all for your patience. Let me turn this up. Share. Okay, here we go.
What am I gonna do? I was thinking maybe it's been long enough, right? Perhaps I should return to the sea. Maybe MSC. What do you think? I think it's safe to say the good Reverend Dr. E is on MSC, baby. Not only that, but no matter where you've cruised before, where you sailed before, they want to make sure you have the best time. So if you're diamond, perhaps on another cruise line, once you get to MSC, you're diamond on this cruise line. Your status carries over because we value you,
Shade.
But if you want to sail with me, the good Reverend Dr. E on MSC, I'll be on MSC Magnifica at least until end of June. Then I'll let you know whatever happens.
Okay. You get my damn point. I called this a year ago. Reverend Dr. E had posted that. Oh, there's Raquel. I'm sorry. It's a good time to pop you up. Reverend Dr. E had posted that a year ago, Raquel, he was getting on Magnifica.
I remember.
And now look.
I'm excited.
I am too. So let's start there. We know MSC is an Italian and Swiss-based cruise line, and now coming to the U.S. market. We know Dr. E was the face of Carnival for a bit. How are we gonna? How's this gonna be received? Does it matter?
Well, I know right now it's mixed reviews. Like if you listen and watch like those Facebook forums and different groups, it's kind of mixed reviews. But I will say I cruised with Dr. E on MSC Seashore July 4th, and I had a group on board. Absolutely loved him. I thought that he was the energy. He was exactly what MSC needed. And I think that they realized that, and that's why he, out of all of their other ships, they have 22 other ships. They could have chosen any other cruise director. There's a reason they brought him to be the face of MSC World America.
Absolutely. And I sailed with him. Actually, Sig and Jen Danielle were on with me on MSC Seashore August. So we get like a month after you. And I came in because I was supposed to be on Conquest with him back when we thought the pandemic was supposed to let go, and it didn't let go, and they ended up canceling it. So I never got to experience Dr. E, but I knew that he was like the face of Carnival. So in my head, getting on as a cruise tuber, I was kind of like, how, and being aware of MSC's demographic,
right,
all the stories behind MSC. I'm like, how is this going to be? So I got on very, got on and I like observed, and he, I think, gave the perfect balance where it was like he brought the energy, but he also understood that the folks aren't going to be all the way in. Like he might have said like one good morning on the intercom, but you know, I heard like on Conquest, he had like a whole 5-minute remix.
Oh yeah, the whole song.
So he knew, like, he's been balancing very interesting. He has also on Seashore, and I wonder if he's going to do it on World America, a really nice welcome aboard show.
Yes, I saw that.
Which I think is going to help, again, acclimate people to who he is, personality, and kind of bring that cruise experience. So it's going to be interesting, but I've already seen the nasty comments and some.
Yeah, unfortunately, but I think he's going to do a great job, and I think there's probably more people excited for him than not. So yeah, I'm excited to see how he does.
Yes, I think the bulk of comments have been positive, but I guess being hypersensitive to some of those topics, I was just like, I think my eyeball have been scrolling through like, who's going to say it? But the most people have been like really excited. So and it's been interesting like how they balance his presence on Seashore. It's going to be interesting to see how he covers World America being so big. But on Seashore, they like he was a cruise director, but he was not the main character, if that makes sense.
Okay. Really on my sailing, he was.
Okay. For some reason they were popping him in and out in August. So like he would be on the sail away he did the sail away, and that was like a good 20 minutes. But like the white party, for instance, the white party started with the fun, they can't say they're the fun squad, even though they brought fun squad energy, but they started with them, and then he popped on for like maybe 15 minutes, brought a really nice mix of songs, and then he dipped out.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Yeah, the White Knight, he wasn't there the full time, but I felt like he was all over everywhere. Wherever we went, he was there. But yeah, it's probably not like Carnival where the cruise director is the face all day, every day. I think they have a balance on MSC. So yeah, I'm curious to see now how he's gonna, where is he going to be on MSC World America, and is he truly going to be the face of the ship and not just, a cruise director like you might see on Royal Caribbean? Because I don't know any Royal Caribbean cruise. Well, I know one.
Royal Caribbean cruise directing is so weird to me because it's like they have a cult following, but they don't have strong personalities outside of like one or two of them. Yeah. So yeah. I don't understand. But anywho, so Raquel is invited for the preview cruise. So congratulations.
Thank you.
And see, Raquel, you taught me something today because I'm like trying to figure out if I'm gonna do couch cruising. I want to, for everybody's in the chat, hope to do a couch cruise some point this week, but I want to make sure that the folks on board, because I know in my head I was like, oh, you get on board and they let you loose. And you taught me
some of us, yeah.
You taught me something really interesting today, and that was you get assignments. So what has MSC brought you on board to do?
So there will be, my understanding is there will be different people on board. There's going to be influencers, there's going to be families and friends of MSC, and then there'll be some select travel agents. And so the influencers on board, now everyone might be at a different level, because we're all getting either paid differently or sponsored differently or whatever the case may be. So some people may have different levels of access that I don't even have or what have you. But my understanding is we're going to get a schedule of kind of where we need to be, what we need to do. We should have already had that, but don't have it yet. So I know people are stressed out a little bit about that because it's like it's hard to plan for content if you don't know where you're going to be, where you're going to be, you know, what have you. Now, my understanding is for the most part, outside of whatever deliverables you have to give to MSC or to the marketing team, you know, pretty much free to free flow. But I want to get on board because I plan to have a full ship tour ready and available. So that's really my biggest focus getting on MSC World America is to get to every spot. So I already have access to like the yacht club. I have access for the spa and all of those prime areas. So I'm really looking forward to getting my schedule because I leave out, I fly out tomorrow. And I mean, I don't stress because I really thrive in procrastination. So that's like I've been doing everything today, but finishing my script and packing and all of that. And my flight is tomorrow at 1. So, I mean, I'll get it done in the morning, but I'm just kind of waiting for that.
It also might be a first where they're like trying to orchestrate how to bring your creators, influencers, TAs on board. Because I feel like the last time I've heard of a preview like this, I think even watching Peter's content as well as Addie and Terry's, they previously did like one night quick preview, which is like a dinner, some kind of ceremony, you go to sleep, and then everybody get off.
That's it. I was actually on board the MSC Seascape for the preview for that one. So that's exactly what it was. It was a one night. Now they have done like a 2-night where you go out to Ocean Cay and you come right back. But MSC is working with a new marketing team now. So yeah, they're trying to, and I can tell you, because I've been on a couple of other preview sailings or inaugurals, and they're doing it a lot differently than others. So in my mind, it seems like it's really organized on what they want us to do and how they want us to, you know, post content or whatever. But then also I'm kind of like, I think it's going to be a hot mess when I get there. I'm hoping not, but not the ship, but I'm just thinking the whole process. But yeah, I think MSC is doing a great job overall as far as reaching out to influencers. I'm excited, honestly, that it's more diverse than I was expecting.
The representation has been through the roof.
Yeah, so I'm excited for that. Now I've worked with MSC a few other times, not at this level, not with like World America and working with this other agency. And I'm just excited that like I'm hearing of other creators that'll be on board that are of color, and I think that that's what MSC needs. Now, where I'm a little salty with MSC is that I feel like, now I don't know, I kind of sense there may be a couple of children on board. But I was told that for this sailing, like there weren't going to be children or young kids because we wanted to bring the family on board, because I do feel like they need to also have that family element to kind of share and highlight. Now, there will be a lot of creators on board the inaugural doing the same thing, but it would have been kind of cool to have families on board, children, to kind of get a true feel of what, you know, MSC World America is going to be.
That is a good point. Like I know Rich and Jazz mentioned they had to do some negotiating to get their girls on, but it seems like Do Re Mi Land is not going to be open.
Okay.
That is weird because I find MSC to be a very family oriented. Now their pools scare me to death with kids because I'm always just like, Jesus, there's a 2-year-old running next to like 9 feet of water. Which is probably different, you know. Maybe it'll be interesting to see the pools are going to be that deep with the World America.
It's going to be, that whole family side. I forgot what it's called. That whole family side, like it's going to have a pool. And what's going to be nice about this one compared to the others is it's actually going to have a family section where families can lounge and relax by the pool in the splash area. On the other ships, if you've ever gone to the kids area, you usually have to kind of just stand around and watch or sit like on the edge of the pool. So they actually have loungers in different areas for families, and then like a food kiosk. And so I think their hope is to keep the families and young children on that side and not like in the main pool or the covered pool. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, because that was one of the things that I was excited. I wish MSC would do more of. I was again watching all the webcams this morning, and I'm like, I wish it would add more color to their ships. But up the top where the slides are, there seems to be a pop of color, which I was excited to see in regards to just some of the like, you know, family friendly areas. Gina's World asked, speaking of like pops of color and family friendly, are you doing the cliffhanger?
I say that I am until I get there, and I might change my mind. So you'll have to wait. You'll have to wait to me. That would be some awesome content with my 360. I've seen a couple other clips of people with their 360. I'm just nervous. Mine's gonna dangle out into the ocean or something. But we'll see. I might get on board. It's my plan to, but you know, sometimes I might just chicken out once I get there. But
and I was excited to finally see how they load the dang one thing. It slides down, you load, and then you go up. But yeah, I'm looking at the angles of some of those swings, and I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
What else, Rockwell, are you looking forward to seeing on from World America, or you know, experiencing? Because you've done a good chunk of MSC cruises.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to the Zen area. You mentioned that before, that adults only, because if I'm recalling correctly, there's not an adults only area on any of the other ships. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think, yeah, there's no dedicated adults only area, because like the Solarium.
Meraviglia had an adults only area in the back, which I liked. It was like stadium
Oh,
seating.
yes, that's right. Where the
Seascape had it,
elevators.
but yeah, Seascape had it, but it was very crowded. The way that they had it situated, it's just like basically two wave pools. And I didn't even bother to go because I heard Seascape and Seashore were just basically pretty much mirror images. I didn't bother to go back because I didn't like how they had this the adults only. But it seems like the adults only area on World America mimics Meraviglia, which they're kind of like the tiered seats scaling, but then it's split pools. But I think I'm gonna like that better than the Seashore.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to Paxos. I'm not a big Italian eater, so like the Italy, like I may go there, but it's not really on my list, but Paxos is. I'm also excited for the Coffee Emporium. So I am a coffee drinker. And so that's probably gonna be one of my first stops, is going to the Coffee Emporium. So excited for that. What else? Just a new layout, new ship. I have not been on MSC World Europa, although I'll be on it next year. So it's just kind of always refreshing and exciting to get on a new layout of ship. Now, this ship is kind of set up like Royal Caribbean ships. So with the Royal Promenade, or what are they calling it? The
World Promenade?
World Promenade. Yeah, I'm gonna say Royal Promenade. I'm sure I will in the video, but the World Promenade with that area, it's very similar to Royal Caribbean. So that I'm also excited for Dirty Dancing.
Now it's supposed to be a stage play?
That's my understanding.
Okay.
But I could be wrong. It could just be the music from Dirty Dancing, but it sounds to me like it's going to be kind of like a production like Royal Caribbean would put on, is my understanding, but I could be totally wrong. I don't even know if it's like any other preview cruise, we might only get a sneak peek of it. So I'm hoping that happens. So at least I kind of get a feel for that. But yeah, excited for that. I'm also excited to step foot in Yacht Club. I've never been in Yacht Club, so
yes, and they won't kick you out.
Right.
Or if you do, you'll get 100,000 of views.
Oh, absolutely. I'll hashtag that, and I'll come up with a catchy thumbnail.
That is exciting, because Gina's Row was asking about the Yacht Club. I won't be Yacht Club. I bid on. So what I did was, and talking about pricing, and Rockwell, I know you always mention this, MSC is such good bang for your buck. So when I booked this in June 2023, I got this for $1,059 for interior, because I just was like, I just want to get on the ship, experience it. Then as I got closer, I was like, okay, I've been selling the Mediterranean, I sell the like UAE. So I was like, you know what? I need like sunlight. So I was like, let me go ahead and do the upgrade. And so I put a bid in for a Yacht Club, and I put the minimum. Right. And they were like, no, thank you. But I did get upgraded to a deluxe deluxe promenade balcony. Okay. So that's how I ended up seeing Peter's video. So that will be, it's not a new concept because World Europa has it. But for me, this will be my first time experiencing what the promenade looks like that split ship concept. on MSC. So I'm excited about that room category. And that's probably going to be, I know folks are saying they're excited about all of our content. I know for me, my plan is the room tour will be the first thing I can probably get out because those are usually only 5 minutes. It's easy to quickly upload that.
Right.
So look out for that on, for me, that'll be Saturday, along with the live stream for the sail away party.
Mm-hmm.
Rockwell, what is the itinerary for you all for the previews? 3 days?
We're just going to Ocean Cay. So we have they're saying it's about 30 to 40% at capacity. So it's not going to be, there's not going to be many people on board at all. So it'll be nice to get the content. But we're just going out to Ocean Cay and we're there for 2 days. So they're planning like an all white night party on the beach with the DJ set. So we've been given some instructions about that. Like pretty much if you don't wear white, don't plan to be on the beach type thing. So yeah, it'll be interesting. So
yeah, they definitely got some black people in the back for that.
Right, I had to get some white because I don't do white. So I was like, I'll just get some white shorts or something and just try to get out there. But yeah, so just Ocean Cay, we'll be there 2 days. So that's going to be a great opportunity to get content, on their private island. So that'll be nice to be there for 2 days.
Cool. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if there are any enhancements. And 2 nights,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, basically going out there and staying, that's kind of cool,
Right.
for sure. Sharon says, I hear Reverend Dr. E is a cruise director on World America, so hopefully he will bring a fun and different vibe. And I definitely think he brought a balance of fun and professional because
when
I say like consummate professional, I was on a cruise that went viral because the young lady and the comedian got into it, which there was some backstory because I know everybody wanted to point the finger at her, but there was also some backstory where apparently also the comedian had some responsibility related to the action because I know Dr. E was trying to get him to stop talking to her to de-escalate the situation. So he handled that whole thing, which could have been like, it was already a mess, but it could have been a bigger mess. And he really brought that whole situation under control. So he's not just fun. This man is a professional. He knows what he's doing, prides himself. So I'm looking forward to seeing, like, again, what the vibe is going to bring. And I know he's going to bring, again, like excellent energy, a good time. For sure. Trying to see if anybody else had anything. I also know something that I'm excited about seeing. So usually, like between Seascape, all the cruises I've been on, they usually have a jungle pool, and they seem to they have rebranded that as a, like, instead of jungle, it's more like a garden. So maybe like a solarium experience versus jungle pool. So I'm interested in seeing what that's going to look like. Because I've been trying to, like, see what the peaks of the different spaces are. Because I like spaces on a cruise ship. And so that space has got my attention. I am interested in seeing what Italy is like. And I think in the Zen area, because I'm an outdoorsy cruiser for sure. Who's this? Team Reese. Welcome in, Team Reese. Says RJ and I had him when sailing the Conquest. He's so much fun. He had RJ leading the conga line. I know that's right. On the go, Yellow says, why the nasty comments? Because people are keyboard warriors.
They are.
Are keyboard warriors. But I will say that the comment was, it was a profile picture that got me. And I won't even just explain what the profile picture was, but the person alluded to MSC is more of a refined, I don't want to say refined, well, I don't feel like it's refined, but like a more quaint and quiet, like cruise concept and not rowdy. And I will say, like, Seashore wasn't rowdy. Well, it was rowdy because it was a 3-day cruise, but like the vibe that Dr. E brought wasn't rowdy, but it was a good energy that a cruise should be.
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
So yeah, Rockwell, anything else that you want to share? I know you're also on MSC's price points, and I know you as a travel agent, you were mentioning you found some really good deals for MSC. I'm not sure for World America, but it was some of the other ships. So
so MSC, if you're looking for solo deals, you need to talk to Carlene, see if we see. Because I'm about to shut I can't take anymore. So go to Carlene. There are some great solo deals on, like, their Seascape, Seashore. Now, World America, you're really not going to find I mean, I think once this ship sets sail this week, those prices are just going to skyrocket. So if you're going to book it, I would book it now. But you can find some really good, like as low as $300 for a night cruise for December on MSC Seashore. That's unheard of for a solo cruise. So definitely take advantage now. I don't anticipate that, those price points remaining like that. So take advantage. I booked
Yeah.
one and I booked probably 10 others today. So
Yeah, I have my eye on Davina because they are
Mhm.
slowly sneaking ships over to the US. Like,
Well,
uh-huh.
Davina is supposed to be transitioning back to Europe.
Is it?
Yes,
Oh,
I
okay.
think it. I think actually, because I have a client, I think she said that she's on the last sailing before it goes back to Europe. But Grandiosa is coming. It's doing longer sailings. I was on that one in Europe. That is a Meraviglia class, I think. So still a nice one of the nice ships. Davina is a bit older. That was my first MSC, my very first solo cruise as well. I had a good time overall. It was a beautiful ship, but it is smaller and older. So kind of like Magnifica. I think it's a little bit newer than Magnifica, or maybe they're in the same class. But yeah, I think Davina's leaving.
Okay, good to know because yeah, it was one
Mhm.
of those ones I saw and I was like, "Ooh, I wanted to get on that one." I think I remember AK Adventures was on Davina at one point, I believe, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Ooh, I want to get on the ship." Sharon says she has a theory that in one MSC group they make it seem like there may be two cruise directors, and I was getting that same vibe possibly because they kept introducing this one guy
Mm-hmm.
who folks were like, "Oh, I really wish that he'll be a director," and then I
Yeah.
kept seeing all the positioning for Dr. E, so it'll be interesting to see if they maybe have maybe one cruise director for a more traditional vibe and one cruise director for activities. We're going to find out on Wednesday, I guess.
Yeah, or maybe an assistant cruise director, so I know some
Mm-hmm.
cruise lines have that, but yeah, it'll be very interesting to see.
Turkey says not cruise homework, but I appreciate what they did that for because I was reaching out to Rocco earlier today because I was like I want to couch cruise this, and can I get like anybody who might be on Wednesday. And Rocco was like, well, we have to cover different things. And I appreciate that because I think like if you say like, hey, because I know like Rich and Jazz said, or Jazz has her contract is like she has to do Instagram stories, rolling
Yeah.
that out. I'm not sure what I haven't heard what Jen Danielle's focus might be. And then I know you said you're waiting for like your
Yeah.
assignments, which I find brilliant because I know like, like watching Star, everybody ran to the Pearl, everybody's going to go to the water park, but to
Mm-hmm.
get different types of media, different perspectives, you
Right.
focus on this area, you focus on that area. I think that it's a very smart way of at least going about it. Now it sounds like it still might
Just
be
waiting
a
on just waiting on information. But for the most part, most of everyone's posting on Instagram. Like that's going to be the primary platform, Instagram and TikTok. But
Oh.
I had to negotiate with them to say, hey, my Instagram is terrible. Like my numbers just aren't going to like. I don't want this to be a reflection on being invited again. So I said, hey, my numbers reflect on YouTube, and that's what I do. So that's why I was able to get like access to like Yacht Club in different areas that I don't think everyone will necessarily have access or full access to. And so for me, I'm just posting a ship tour, which will hopefully be out on Thursday. And you're gonna see stories from me, but they don't really expect. So for me, it's just that one video plus YouTube Instagram reel, but it's just really getting that content. And like I said, not having a schedule for it. Now, when I say schedule, because I think someone commented about having the time of your life if they're giving you assignments. It's part of the job. We're getting paid to be on board, so I can't complain because we didn't have to pay for the trip, didn't have to pay for my flight, my hotel, and we're getting paid to create the content. So it is a job. So they do have expectations for us to say, we want you to capture this. But we will have a lot of freedom, obviously, on board. But for me, it's like I think a lot of the creators on board, if they're not filming content, they're editing. Whereas I've done most of my back end work from home, so
No, that's
I just
right.
have to capture the ship and then put it on my clips, and I'm done.
And see,
So
that's how you get invited back. Because see, because I did not get invited, but it's cool because I get to watch the folks who have been invited. So I'm like, when that time comes, it won't catch me off guard,
mhm.
So to hear and see like, oh, you have to be responsible for this, you have to crank this out. Just because they ask you this, give a little extra
Mhm.
helps me prepare
And
as a
not too
smaller.
much extra, not too much extra, because
You
if
ain't
you're
pay for
paying
that.
me for this, that's what you're gonna get. Now I'm gonna put, if you want to pay me some more, because there are opportunities to get paid more if they get more content. But yeah, you're gonna get what you're paying me for
I
at
know
this
that's
point.
right.
So I mean, I'll still post other things, but yeah.
G Fox says yes, coffee, and I was excited to see because I was like, I know the Philippe, what is it called, John Philippe, the chocolate
Yes.
shop has usually dubbed as coffee, but it seems like there's going to be a chocolate shop space and
And the
its
coffee.
own. Yeah, so
Yes.
I'm gonna like those little. I like ships that have a lot of sections, like almost like little stores, kiosks. So I think I'm gonna like popping it. And I personally bought I bought the drink package.
Okay.
Because they have so many new bars that I'm like, I want to make sure that I can experience it, all of that, and all the different coffees and that kind of things.
Right.
Crazy Homebody Girl says, wow, the Dirty Dancing show sounds fun. And I'm like, why did they pick Dirty Dancing?
I don't know, but I'm kind of excited for it. It's something different, especially if it's going to be more of a stage show, stage play. I'm excited for that because MSC typically doesn't have that. Usually it's like some sort of musical or them singing. Their shows are very different compared to other
yeah, they're
cruise
usually known
lines.
for those crazy costumes.
Yeah, the crazy costumes, the singing. They'll also have, which I kind of don't mind. They'll have like aerialists. They'll have jugglers. They'll do like different things that you don't always see on other cruise lines, which I don't mind. But it'll be interesting if this is truly a stage play or kind of like how Royal Caribbean does it.
Right. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see because I'm like, how did they conceptualize Dirty Dance in the stage play? So I guess it makes it. But if NCL Aqua can conceptualize Prince, then not the arrow. That was a hard
arrow on that, but we'll find out soon about that. I did get a sneak peek. I was at a conference and I got a sneak peek of the show. I wasn't impressed. I wasn't impressed, but we'll see.
Yeah, and it seemed like, I mean, to quickly pop over to Aqua, it seems like, I mean, Aqua was the first ship in a long time that has actually done a transatlantic, the positioning to the States with actual people on board, people who are hosted, but it seemed like they got pretty crappy weather. So I don't even know if they've been able to experience like the whole trip. And it's also something that I realized, like, I know people are like, oh, get on a transatlantic, sometimes it's cheaper. And I realized it might be cheaper because like this time of year, you're not going to be able to use the full ship.
Right.
And you might get into choppy waters and you might have an extra itinerary. So it's been interesting to watch NCL Aqua because it was like I had already committed to purchasing this cruise. But when NCL rolled theirs out, I was like, dang, I'm going to miss that part. But then I'm watching all these people who, I think it looks like a lot of these people are hosted. Well, not all of them. It was a, what is it called? It was a commercial sailing because there were people who paid to be on it. But it's been interesting to watch them roll out while everybody's looking at World America. So it's like a little bit of a versus battle, which I know Pete's talking about. PETA is going to be doing a live stream where she's going to be hosting some of us who there are going to be, and I'm not sure who announced yet, but there are going to be people who have been on NCL Aqua. And there are going to be people who have been on World America. This will be a little bit of a versus battle of the ships. I think was May the date.
Sometime in May. So yeah, and I'll be on NCL Aqua. So I have like 3 cruises in the next 2 weeks. So.
Love it.
I'm tired already.
Lots of content. Cheryl mentioned something that we haven't hit on, which is the new terminal and how it flows for moving the people. So I don't know, folks may or may not know, MSC has rolled out this state-of-the-art terminal. And will it be your first time experiencing this terminal, Rockwell?
It will be, but I can tell you that right now it's causing a hot mess there with traffic. If you've seen or heard anything lately about there being a lot of backup, a lot of traffic at the Port of Miami, a lot of cruise lines like Royal Caribbean, they are shuttling people free of charge to the airport because they want to avoid, or to parking lots because they want to avoid people parking at the Port of Miami because of the backlog of traffic. So I'm curious to see for your sailing, because I don't think I'll experience that because, like I said, we're not at full capacity. But like that first sailing, the inaugural, I'm really curious to see what the flow of traffic and how the terminal will operate with a crowd. So
Miami Cruise Port has been having some drama recently between bomb threats, Ultra Fest, which usually Ultra Fest always holds up. Which is usually this time of year, but it already happened. And then usually it's a crazy rainstorm that happens and closes down the tunnel. So that's a reminder. Anyone heading out on MSC on Saturday or this weekend to make sure that you give yourself plenty of time to get to Miami Cruiseport.
Oh,
G
yeah.
Fox is an amazing question, which is Rockwell, as a parent of a child with autism, do you feel, or as an autism parent, I'm like, the terminology has shifted
Right.
since I've been in
It
school.
has.
We were from people first. Okay. So as an autism parent, how do you feel cruise ships geared to the needs of children and adults with special needs?
I would say adults, not what I would like to see. For the most part, there's really no programming or anything particular for adults. And I say that because our son has gone through that transition of being a teen cruiser, going to the kids clubs, teens clubs, to now being an adult and really doesn't have an opportunity to connect with others. That's where I think organizations like Autism on the Seas are very helpful, because you'll be able to connect with like individuals and have support there. But I would say for the most part, most cruise lines are certified culture city, which is really for those that have sensory disorders, and they're trained to kind of know how to work with. If there's certain quirks that an individual has, they can help support. I know, like for our son Andrew, he's pretty high functioning in the sense of like he can get to and from and do things like that on his own, but they can help support if he ever needed it. The cruise lines, particularly Carnival, I feel like Carnival has been the most accepting and inclusive as far as disabilities. You just have to check in with the kids clubs, teens club, let them know kind of what you want them to know about your family member or friend, and they will do their best to keep them in the kids club, the teens club, allow them to engage and make friends, things like that. They'll give you a phone if needed to communicate if there are any challenges. And what I liked about Carnival, as like Andrew started getting older, because although he's older, like his mentality, like he's 19 now, but he's probably more like a 10-year-old, 11-year-old. They would allow to an extent for him to like go to the kids club with his brother. So maybe like a couple so he might not have been like the 16-year-old club. He might have been in the 13-year-old club. So they kind of allowed that for a little bit. And then as he became 18, he was even allowed to remain in the teens club even as an 18-year-old, but he had to give up his adult privileges. So they said, well, because he's not, and I don't know if this will work for everyone, but because he's not going to pose a problem to anyone. He just wants to sit and listen to music. They were like, well, if he wants to go there, that's perfectly fine. We will allow it. I had a phone that they would connect with me if needed. They would just say, hey, he can't go to the adults comedy show. He can't go to the nightclub. He can't do these things. It's one or the other. So I feel like if you just explain to them kind of what your needs are, what your child's needs are, they are willing to do whatever they can to accommodate. A lot of the kids club employees, a lot of them were teachers, especially if you cruise in the summer. A lot of times you'll find teachers on board because they're using this as a second job. And so they kind of have some sort of background or training on working with individuals with disabilities. But I personally feel like I would not plan a cruise based on what the abilities of the team or the staff is, because you just don't know. And so if you have a high needs child or individual, I would say that's when you would partner with like Autism on the Seas or what have you. But because I've known some that have had kids that had high needs and expected the kids clubs to maintain and support and guide and do all of that, and that for me is not realistic because that's not their job. So I think for the younger kids, the cruise lines are more equipped. As they get older, it's kind of, they're going to have to find their own fun, their own safe fun activities with family. And that's just kind of where we are. But I do wish that there were some programs that would allow, like they'll do adult meetups, like 6 or 18 to 20. I wish they had like some sort of way for, like how they have the club for the Alcoholics Anonymous that you see on the, what is it called? Friends
Friends
of
of
Bill or
Bill,
something.
which I didn't know. I
I
was like,
wish
Bill
they
got a
had
lot of
like,
friends every cruise.
right. I wish they had something like that, like a Friends of Bill, and we kind of knew that this is like the meetup for those families that have individuals with special needs that just kind of want to meet up and hang out together. But I'm all about inclusivity and kids being able to get out with their peers regardless of ability. So
That's a great idea. I know you said that idea before, but I feel like Carnival, that's like right up Carnival's lane because they're pretty inclusive.
yeah.
Someone else said, On the Go Yellow says that's brilliant that they are asking for a specific and thank you for the question, G. That was an amazing question for sure. On the Go Yellow says now that is brilliant. They're asking for a specific content and views. Absolutely. Yeah. Cheryl got the shady question. She says, are the assignments based on MSC's talks with Ben and David? And how to welcome content creators?
I don't know. I can tell you this. I've worked with MSC in the past, but not this structured. So in the past, it was kind of like, yes, I could get access to these areas. I've never gotten access to Yacht Club, so I'm excited to have that. But in the past, it truly was, we just want you to produce a couple of reels or a couple of stories, and this is what we're going to compensate you, what we're going to give you. It was never where it's going to be. But I also have not been on a preview sailing like this for MSC. I was on Seascape when they did their preview event in New York. Was it New York? But nothing like this. So this is very different than but they're also working with a new marketing team. So it could be just how they set things up. So I don't know. But if it is, I mean, I'm all for it because, like I said, I'm excited for all the, because I think when they mentioned, I think they said there were like over 100, like 120 creators or influencers on board.
That's a nice bit. That's a nice bit for sure.
Yeah. Now I can tell you, most of them I don't even know who they are because we had a call and I was scrolling through the list of names. I'm like, I don't know none of these people, so they must be, I don't know, maybe not from the U.S. or
yeah, there were just other young ladies who seemed like they were British with African like backgrounds, but definitely Brits. So I saw them coming over, but
well, I can tell you the names I did recognize. I recognize A Rich and Jazzy Life. I recognize the Danielle Experience. I recognize those names. Anybody else, I was like, I think I might know who they are. I don't know. They don't know who I am either, so it is what it is.
Because I was like, okay, do I want to couch cruise this? But I was like, how do I do this? Because I know 3 people, and I know Rich and Jazz are gonna have like their girls, and I know what Impose. And I'm like, thank you for always just being like, how can I help? Which I appreciate.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't even know when the naming ceremony will be, if that's going to be like midday or if that's going to be in the evening. Like, I don't have a schedule. I don't know what's going on, honestly, but.
Do they give you all any perks? So, I know I have the drink. I bought the drink package because I want to try other things. What perks do you all get? Is it or do they have inclusive drinks? Do they get
for me, the perk was not having to pay for the cruise and my flight in the hotel. But no, we have the premium drink package. We have premium Wi-Fi, multiple devices because they want us posting and uploading. We also have Fun Pass, so we can access like the F1 or F5 simulator and all the Fun Pass stuff. Photo package. So yeah, pretty much the whole package.
Awesome. We're definitely looking forward to it. I see Jen is in the building too. Jen, I'm not sure if you're still paying attention, if you want to pop in.
Hey, Jen.
Jen was invited to get on MSC in the preview as well. So we're looking for Jen's content too for Wednesday for sure. It was something else I saw that I was like, Game Changer Auntie is saying she's looking for your ship tour for sure. Yes, I'm looking for it.
Hopefully it'll be out Thursday. It has to go through approvals. It has to go through approvals and things. So I have my script done. I have it voiced over. I have the music. Now I just have to get the clips. So my plan is to get on board as soon as I can and get those clips, and then it should hopefully be a quick process. So my plan is to have it out. Now I will do a live ship tour. I'm going live on Wednesday around 11:30, depending on what time I get on the ship. I might go sooner. I'm going to do a deck by deck live tour, but I'm also going to do a recorded tour, so it's more narrated and, so.
Hi, Ron!
He didn't know I was live. It was an impromptu live. He was at Bible study.
Ron, I saw that you were in the chat earlier saying, "Can your husband help?"
She doesn't want my help. Also,
I'm live. We're live, like talking to people. You can sit down. Go sit down. He thought I was in here working because I'm like literally working, and he usually brings his book and he'll come in here and read while I'm working. But I need to be doing. I have so much to get done, but
I don't want. Look, don't let me hold you.
I told her I literally procrastinate, and it's the best thing for me because I feel like I do a lot better when I procrastinate. So, I don't
Jen
know what
just
it is.
popped on, so I can
All
add
right.
Jen in if you want to, because I know you have to get ready for tomorrow.
I do. I have to, yeah, I have a lot to get done, but I appreciate you taking time. And yeah, if I can pop in while I'm on board, I would love to. And then when you're on board, if we can somehow connect too, that would be great because I'm actually upset that I canceled the inaugural now that I'm really starting to see clips of the ship and this and that. And like I said, I canceled that because I'll be on it again for our group cruise for
Oh
Christmas. And
yeah,
I'm just like, that's too many days on one ship.
you'll
So,
probably get your feel. I
but there's
have
going to be a
a
lot
feeling
of
you'll get your
creators,
feel.
and I'm excited to see your content as well.
Thank you. Look, now I've learned from you all. I've learned from you. I've learned from Parker's on the Go. I've learned from Fane and Laura for Travel Spree of like how to do inaugurals. So it's like I need to rest so I can get this
It's a
ready.
lot. It's a
And
lot.
yes, my plan is I'm like I want to do a room tour and embarkation day, and at least so I am preparing myself for that mentally, and
Yep.
then hopefully one day I'll join y'all in the big leagues of being invited. I know it's
But
coming.
take your time. Take your time getting the content out. Like I feel like sometimes as content creators, we stress ourselves out trying to get that information out, trying to enjoy the ship. Like enjoy the ship, have fun. When you have breaks, because like I'll probably be walking around with my headset on, editing in between whatever. Just find time to do it, but also find time. You have to have a balance, and that's the biggest thing is having a balance. That's why I'm getting my work done now. That way I can film on the day one, and then I can enjoy my drink package after that.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you, Rockwell. We're gonna pop up
All
Jen.
right. See you later.
Let's see.
Hey, Jen.
Hey Raquel, I'll see you soon, girl.
All right. I'll
Safe
see ya.
travels.
Jen,
Hey girl.
how are you?
Good. How are you? Look, I have been just like you watching every angle of this ship this morning. I woke up and I like darted out of bed because I was like, it's here, it's here.
So Jen Danielle, we were on Threads talking about the MSC came into the canal, and there are several webcams that you can get like a view of it. And Jen was like, I'm hyper fixated on these like the webcams, and Jen was like, me too. So Jen, what are you? You'll be on Wednesday as well.
Mm-hmm.
What are you looking for? Well, first, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I am so excited and I'm going to share it, but I got invited in an unconventional way. So
Okay.
it was a surprise to me. So yeah, I think a little bit of it was actually when we were on MSC, the content I did really well. So I think that's what kind of got the eyes on me. So anybody who wants to go into travel, like sometimes you got to pay to play. So tagging MSC and doing that one cruise is what at least got their attention. So I think that's
You
what
were
got me.
definitely working because at one point I think we saw you at Ola Tacos.
Yeah.
And then Sig and I looked and we were like, we hadn't seen Jen again, and that's because you were working. But like Jen does, you are phenomenal with like networking, but very efficiently. Because you saw E and you were like, hey, this is myself, and then you had all that stuff out, and then you ain't waste no time of getting your seashore video out. So that's definitely a tip for sure. What else are you looking? Wait, Seashore was not your first. Was that your first?
Yeah, that's been my only MSC. Only, yeah. So I went from like Seashore to the best of the best.
Awesome. So what are you then? Because this is my MSC cruise 4. This will be your second. So going from Seashore to their biggest ship in the fleet, like what are you looking forward to with that experience?
I am most looking forward to just seeing if I like it because I had a similar experience with Royal Caribbean. And so that's going to be kind of my biggest comparison and the angle I'm kind of going at because I didn't really like Icon. So and I don't know if it was because I was on that inaugural or if it was just such a big jump because I did Freedom of the Seas and then I did Icon. So like I went from like small older ship like all the way to the tip top. So I think you kind of need those layers in between. So I kind of wish I would have done Seascape before. So I'm curious to see, like, is it just the big jump that I'm not used to, or am I really not as big a fan of these big ships?
It was funny, not funny, but like at home watching you, I was
Yeah.
like, Jen is struggling right now.
Oh, I was
But
struggling.
it wasn't you for Icon. It's Royal Caribbean. I was literally saying today, Royal Caribbean is the ship that, like, as a solo cruiser, even when I'm at my peak of being personality and personable, I still have a very quiet time on Royal Caribbean. It's
Is
very
that what it is?
it is, as a solo cruiser of color. Like, I've done the whole thing where I tried to go to the meet and greet, the Facebook meetup, and I still have yet to make connections as a solo cruiser as I have on. Like, I've had a better connections on Regent, with the median being 65-year-olds
That's
than I
shocking.
did on a Royal Caribbean.
But look, Carly, you know we a little old at heart though, so that's not
I
surprising.
was enjoying the Regent Seven Seas cruises, baby, but no, it's something about Royal still has some work to do with its solo cruising programming. I feel like,
Yeah,
I was watching your stuff on Icon. I was just like, Jen is having it's tough. That
Yeah.
one was tough, but I think MSC, particularly with E, because I think you enjoyed Seashore.
I did.
So I think you're gonna be good for World America with the energy that Dr. E is bringing.
I definitely agree. And I like that you asked Raquel and you've been watching Travel Speed about tips about how to handle these inaugurals and everything. So how are you feeling about going into another one? Because I know you had like a lot going on both times. Like, you always are supposed to be on the inaugural and something happens. So look, I'm gonna quiz you on your own page because I'm curious to know.
So this will be my first time taking an inaugural seriously. So I have I was telling people, like, the first time I ever got on an inaugural was Carnival Celebration.
Okay.
And I was just like, oh, I get the first glimpse. Like, I did not take it seriously as a creator. I was just kind of like, oh, I get to see all my travel friends. And then I saw Parkers on the Go was like, they were live for like almost 2 hours with the sail away. They got a bunch of subs. I got to meet Fane and Laura. I think it was my first time meeting Fane and Laura in person. And they were like, cool to meet you, but we got to go and like record this outro and put this video out. And then I paused and I was like, oh, shoot, like, I'm not supposed to be having fun. Like, this is work. But the point of life that I was in, like, I just had a whole lot going on in regards to like just working. I had like 3 part-time jobs and a full-time job, put it that way.
Wow.
So when I got on cruise ships, I was literally getting on to like disconnect.
Yeah.
But in my head, I was just like, oh, this content will roll out. Then I learned, like, oh, shoot, you're supposed to be like trying to crank out a couple of things while you're on the ship. So now what I have done is I've let go some of the extra like part-time stuff. I'm like, I'm going to make room for like the creator stuff. This week, I'm still not packed yet. So that's not I'm not on track.
Girl, my flight, I'm supposed to be at the airport at 4 and nothing is in the suitcase right now. You're kidding. So you'll be fine.
But
It's all surrounding me though. Like, if I showed you everything around me, it's a nightmare. It's here. It's just not in the suitcase.
Same. But no, I think so now I'm at least like, I have a game plan of, I am going to do like immediately do a room tour, and then I'm going to try to get my embarkation day blog out early. And then even like how I record it, I'm like, oh, I'm going to just need to use my one device to record it so I can just boom, 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 boom.
Girl, is that not a hack? That has been the game changer for me. Like, what I saw with because I couldn't believe I was able to crank out a 7-part series within the month. One device. Like,
yep, and it's going to be my DJI. I don't have the new one, but I have the 2. The
I
original.
remember when you had the 2, and I was like, "What is that little thing?" And so now that I have one, I'm like, "This thing is the best." Like, oh, being able to see. Somebody said Royal Caribbean is like corporate America. You know what? It is kind of giving it.
You are definitely the pepper and the salt, which is it boggles me because I love royal ships. Like, I'm a ship spaces girl. So I love like getting on a ship and there's all these little nooks and crannies that I can go park myself in. But I find that I don't make connections with people on Royal. And I'm usually like any other ship, I make some kind of connection, just even by accident, you know. Right. But Royal, it might be like I might have a brief conversation with somebody and then they kind of go on about their way, but I never see them again. But that's the only cruise line And maybe NCL. I gotta try NCL again because I know, like, I did inaugural. Oh, maybe I did two inaugurals. I did NCL Prima is first.
Okay.
Yeah, but Regina was on that one, so it was kind of like I had, people. So I kind of got to do NCL again from a solo perspective. But yeah, that's the only cruise line I do not make deep connections with people.
I did the same thing you did with Celebration with Icon. Like I was so excited to see everybody. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna get the content out. But it really was a struggle. So I think this one is gonna be different though, because I do understand like that room tour needs to come out immediately. And I think the one device is gonna make a big difference. So I'm
Yeah.
ready for it this
So
round.
what has been Rockwell? Because Rockwell was saying today I was trying to organize like couch cruising and whatnot, and she mentioned that MSC has done something which I really love for its creators, and that's basically give everybody assignments. So what is your, and then Rich and Jazz mentioned like, Jazz is going to be doing stories on Instagram. Like, what is the thing? Have they told you like what you're going to focus on?
Yeah. So mine is very simple. So they have just given me to do an Instagram reel. That's it. That's literally it. And I think it has to be reshared to TikTok. So I have so that's what makes me most excited is that, that's pretty much all I have to do, and everything else is free for me to spread. But I think they kind of know too. I never just do one piece of content for anything that I do. Like the stories, it's probably gonna be 100 stories up by the end of the day. So yeah, that's been a good thing. I actually don't have a lot of detail about my assignment. They're still kind of rolling some things out, but yeah, that's pretty much all I have. So
I'm excited for you. It's gonna be amazing. And that's just so interesting. I'm expecting, like, I thought they would bring y'all on and be like working y'all. Like, this is good information for people who are, because I'm guessing most people who are watching are also like creators and they want to get invited, they want to get hosted. Yeah. So this is good knowledge about like, okay, you want to get hosted. But like, here is the business behind getting hosted. Like, it looks cute and glamorous, but then it's also kind of cool to hear like, okay, I don't have to like go on this ship and like sell my whole soul. Like, okay, even though a reel can still take a good chunk of time.
Yeah, well, see, and I guess let me say it's 2 reels because I have something I have to do pre-cruise, and what I did today isn't for them. I did that just for my page. So I have a pre-cruise, and then I have a during the cruise. And I may have like 2 or 3 stories, but I mean it's just so minimal that I was like, I'm definitely gonna do that anyway. So I will say when it comes to the cruise lines, like across the board, because of course I've worked with Virgin before, they don't really ask for a lot when it comes to like the number that you have to do. And I just, as a rule, for me, I'm trying to get the content anyway. So I always do more than what they ask anyway. And I think that it looks good. And I think it helps to build the relationship too. So
well, since we're on that topic, like what are, if you don't mind, like sharing, like what are some tips that you say like people should, because I think that's for creator folks, like the golden pinnacle of like being hosted.
Yeah.
What are some, I guess, strategies or preparation things that you would give advice to people who like want to be hosted in the future? Like tips of things like they should do, how they should position themselves.
Yeah, like I definitely say kind of like what I was telling you, like we did with the seashore. Like if you can get a deal on a cruise that you already want to go on, like definitely don't go into debt and overspend. I've done it before on a cruise that you cannot afford just to get the content. But if it's something that you're already trying to do, you can get a good deal on it. If you're a travel agent and they have like some travel agent rates, take an opportunity to actually go ahead and do that thing and get practice in the content, because that's just going to show the brand what you actually look like doing their content and filming the shit. Like it was the same thing with Virgin. I paid for my very first Virgin cruise, and so when I reached out to them and pitched them, I was able to look up the email, and anybody can find the email and just tell them like, this is what I did the last time I was there, these were the results. And you kind of have that to build your own portfolio. Like my biggest advice would be, don't wait for someone to give you the opportunity. Just go ahead, take the opportunity. I know that it sometimes stinks to go ahead and feel like you're doing the work ahead of time that you could get paid for. but it's good practice for you. And in the long run, it's just going to help you to stand out to those brands because they know that you really do like them. And to be honest, like I knew when I went on the seashore that this World America thing was a possibility. And I didn't want my first experience to be the top of the line because I was like, I need to know. Now, I'm not going all the way live, but I knew that I didn't want to walk into that situation and have to say, oh, well, this is great, and have nothing to compare it to. So
I love that. Like, get a little taste before like the big, the big moment. Prepare
yeah,
yourself. And it makes also says she says, great advice, Jen. That's how I started getting invited or comp by just doing the
yeah.
things that you actually like, and then everything else kind of falls into line
Mhm.
there. So what can we look for you on Wednesday? I don't want to hold you up too much. I know people got to pack. I got to pack. What should we look at? Well, tell people how they can find do you have a plan for Wednesday? Should we be looking out for pings, notifications?
Yeah, so my plan is to try to get the room tour on YouTube as quickly as possible. My target is the spa, so I really want to get to the stuff that I like. I love the sports bar, I love the spa, and I want to get to the venues I most like. So that's kind of my goal, is to hit those first. I do not foresee a ship tour. If you are in my audience and you want to see a ship tour, I have been telling everybody, please go to MH Family Adventures. Y'all, I am too sporadic to walk around and ship, and y'all do not want to hear me talk and move the camera back and forward for over an hour. So I'm gonna direct you all there. I don't think you're gonna see a ship tour out of me, but
Look, I think at this rate, it seems like the keywords this week are MSC World America. Like,
right.
whatever drops, people are like jumping on it, whether it's an Instagram
Yeah.
story, a reel, anything that lands on YouTube. I've been like, okay, I'm gonna click and watch this.
Yeah.
So we are excited for y'all. Oh, Sharo says yes to the thermal spa. So you have some spa girlies who are excited about
my
seeing
spa girls.
that content for sure. And we're just excited to see like this coming to fruition for you, MH, everybody really. But I know you've been working like really, really hard to get hosted.
Girl.
So congratulations.
Thank you. And I'm so excited for you because I know like you have had some serious growth over the past couple of months too. So congratulations. And you have been doing some exciting stuff. Like I look to you for all my international needs. You going over to do Disney. Everybody in my live has been shouting Disney. Every live somebody brings up
Because
Disney.
they just hosted. So one of my friends just Disney shamed me because one of my homegirls is like, next year you got to be on Disney. And I just said, do you see these people got 180,000 followers?
Yeah.
But yeah, Disney just hosted a cohort of Black creators recently. I think 40 of them. So all their content has been hitting YouTube. I was watching that on the Peloton this weekend.
yeah. So I definitely was tuned in, and my feelings were a little hurt. Like I don't have anywhere near the following, but I was like, I do cruises. Why didn't Disney invite me? I was like, maybe I need to move away from the adult.
Well, that's another tip that I think comes from like this hosting like conversation and tips of it. It seems almost like Royal is. I think Royal Caribbean is famous for this. Mm-hmm. You are more likely to get hosted outside of your niche for something than you are within your own, because they're kind of like, well, who has a 200,000 people? Who's a family channel? We're going to bring you on board. It seemed like the Disney one. Even I was looking back because I was just like, how did you end up on Disney Fantasy? And it was like the hair girlies, the makeup girls, the families, and I was just like, oh, so there's an opportunity outside of your niche for somebody to tap in. So you never know when that hashtag might take you. And I'm also learning that you can negotiate, because one of the YouTubers that I heard about the Disney opportunity, she literally said, thank you for inviting me. My brother and his family have their own channel, 2 very cute kids. You all should consider them.
That's nice.
And same with, I think, I also believe I heard maybe, I think Rich and Jazz mentioned, like, sometimes you can counter and say like, well, hey, I can come on board, but I also have this other connection that might help your brand too, where like Rain and Royce bringing on their channel. Mm-hmm. So you can sometimes negotiate too, like, when you have these opportunities, when people are inviting you, like, don't be scared to push the envelope and say like, can I get a little extra? So I know somebody else I don't know them personally, but somebody else story I was following, she literally just said, my brother has a really cute family, which the kids were adorable. Can they come on Disney with us? And Disney like a couple of days later, they said, oh yeah, we looked at their profile, they match, bring them on board. So
that's nice. Yeah. And I would say too, like when it comes to doing stuff like that, I begin to kind of shift my content a little bit because my content is heavily virgin right now. And so I begin to like show that I can do some of these other pieces of content too and do more kind of like family based. Not that my content is like raunchy or anything at all, but like I started to cover up a little bit more if I'm getting ready to pitch Disney. So it's always a strategy and I'm always thinking ahead. I ain't ready to pitch Disney right now, but if they call me, I'm open. Disney, if you are watching me and
DMs are open,
Carlene's channel,
Disney.
we want to come.
Well, awesome. Well, we'll all be plugged into. I know you're on TikTok at Danielle. Where are you on?
Just CG and Danielle on TikTok and
Okay.
Instagram, and then of course YouTube is CG and Danielle Experience. But
There we
the
go.
stories are gonna probably be what is gonna be in the moment for me. So you'll probably see more stories. I'm hoping to do some lives late at night. But we'll have to see how that goes because I go to bed. So
You produced it. We gonna watch it.
Well, thanks for having me, Carlene. I am excited.
Thank
Hopefully,
you.
I can catch you Saturday when you get in. So
Yes,
yeah.
I think I board at 12, so probably about 1:30. No, I ain't gonna lie. It'll be Saturday.
Right. All right, girl. I'll see you Saturday.
See ya. Thanks for popping up. So cool. So folks had good advice, and hopefully that helps somebody who may be interested in getting, sponsored, hosted. You have 2 people who are going to be on one of the newest cruise ships soon. So hopefully that helps you put some in perspective. If that's your jam, if that's something you're seeking goal wise, some tips that you can take. On the Go Yellow says she would love to see new and exciting dining and cocktails. I was like, what is Yellow? You being nasty. Dining. New and exciting dining and cocktails. Cool. Yeah, I'm like, I bought the drink package. I am not like a gin person. I don't like gin, but I know they have like the gin project on board. So that's going to be an experience, like trying these cocktails with gin. And I know I don't like gin, but I am hell-bent I'm going to find one that I really enjoy. Shakita says, yes, I noticed. And welcome in, Shakita B. He says, yes, I noticed that. My favorite cruise was Disney because of the service and the shows. They are amazing. My cruise family says, yes, DCL hosts lifestyle creators mostly. So yeah, so even though they got, people who have hundreds of thousands of followers by doing the Disney parks and by doing Disney ships, they often host the lifestyle creators. And I think because it's like, if you already have a niche, these people already have people who are going to do the thing. So like, even like as a cruise creator, I mean, I'm more of a travel, cruising is the bulk of my channel, but I also do other, land-based vacations, etc. But like, I already have people who like to travel in my realm, so it's like, you would probably want me to go viral, fixing my house or painting or, doing something else, because it's like you get to pull in people who might not be considering travel and cruising. So that's why you see like the hair girls. It's like, their followers are probably looking at makeup, hair tips, and then you throw in this trip and they're kind of like, ooh, that's glitzy, glamoury. Maybe I'll buy this like experience. One of my homegirls, I know a lot of you know that I recently kind of did a little bit of rebranding, not too much of a turn away, but I've been really embracing that whole, like, I have a 9-to-5 career, but I don't, like, I travel the world like I don't. My homegirl who gave me that advice, she was kind of like, yeah, if we see certain things, she said, we don't think about cruising. Their network is more like, we're going to fly in and enjoy the flights. They're going to enjoy the properties and the resorts. She's like, yeah, we don't think about cruising. She said, but if you show me a really good cruising experience, Carlene, we might hop on a cruise ship. So thinking about, I think a lot of times brands kind of go outside the box of like, your niche might be one thing, but they'll bring you on for something else because they know you're going to pull in a different market that may not be thinking about a cruise ship, travel, etc. So it's like, that might be our homework. Like, we got to find those. What are the adjacent niches that you might get pulled into? The Fox's Den says, to Carlene, to see you so happy for your fellow content creators. The blessings are coming in God's timing. Keep pushing on your journey. Thank you, G Fox. And I definitely will. And like, I definitely, when they say like God's timing, like I know, yeah, what what I am and am not prepared for. And, you know, I feel like watching the folks who are being hosted, I'm like, it is definitely their time because they have it down pat of how to get on these ships, how to work the network, how to create the content, how to do those kind of things. And I am still learning. Like, I need energy. Step one for being hosted, Carlene, find some energy for an inaugural. So I am definitely working on that. But I just love that I get to get a little sneak preview from my fellow creators. On the Go Yellow says, love that all things come on the right time. Game Changer says, after Greece, I was on a down spell with cruising. Reached a dream. But now with this ship, cruise streets, let's go. Okay, so you were kind of like, all right, was done with cruising. And then you seen this new cruise ship that kind of put some wind under your sails. And I was similar. Like, I was kind of like, kind of done with inaugurals. It seems like my channel folks will just watch me any ship that I'm on. But when I heard that, you know, MSC was going to try to break into the market, I kind of wanted to, I'm very much into experiences. So I was like, let me experience this. Turkisha says, my schedule for Wednesday is completely clear just to see everyone's vlogs and lives. And let me tell you, the vlogs and lives are going to be churning out. And I work 10-hour shifts. So I'm thankful for everybody who's going to be going live on Wednesday. You are doing a service by keeping me motivated. Thank you, Mickey's Adventure, for the compliment. Game Changer says, good job, Nisi. So proud of your accomplishment. Yes, that was probably for Jen. What is this? No food and drinks. Sharon says, we had an impromptu MSC Future Cruises couch cruise, didn't we? And now I feel like, I'm like, do I even need a couch cruise? Because we just had like the two people I was going to ask anyway. So I might give them a break on Wednesday and maybe we'll just couch cruise live from the ship. I know my boarding time on Saturday is 12 o'clock. Oh, and this will be my diamond cruise on MSC. So I get to experience the perks of diamond, which are, I get, what is it called? I get priority boarding. So hopefully the boarding lines won't be crazy for me on Saturday. I get like some spa time. So this will be my first diamond cruise on MSC, which I'm excited to see what those perks are going to be, which I guess I get to give you all the diamond experience. But yeah, that was an impromptu couch cruise. And then I guess, well, maybe the next couch cruise will be exactly from the ship. Unless I see something on Wednesday that I'm kind of like, really want to catch that. We might wait because we got MH Family Adventures. We got Jen Danielle on here talking about their experience. So maybe we'll figure something out later in the week in regards to what we want to do about that. Or we might have a double couch cruise because I know I'll be on MSC and I know somebody who will be on Norwegian Aqua. So maybe it could be a couch cruise from MSC and then a beam in from Norwegian Aqua. What do y'all think about that? On the Go Yellow says, I can see that they want those out of the box viewers. Yeah, because if you already have, you know, a cruise creator, particularly cruising, there are a lot of people who have either strong feelings about cruising. Either they want to do a cruise or they're like, cruising is for old people. So, I mean, yeah, you're going to get those people who you sell for cruising for old people, but like there are so many pieces of niches of like people who don't even think about getting on a cruise. For instance, case in point, when Icon rolled out, I think Icon rolled out with a Super Bowl commercial and my homegirl was like, yeah, my homegirl does not like cruising. They don't do a whole lot of travel. She was like, yeah, my daughter saw this big cruise ship commercial talking about Icon. And now we're like looking into like possibly cruising. So that's kind of like the way that the ships have to think because the cruises are already going to book it or say they're not going to book it or get a deal. But you really want those folks who are like outside of your niche to come online. Mamie says, hey, C, love this live. Lots of great information. Definitely. Its time is perfect. Oh, and Jen says Carlene's on the move. Thank you. I'm excited about cutting back on all my extra like side hustles. And now I'm like, it's my full-time job and it's the YouTube channel. And I'm starting to see like growth in like letting go of some extra stuff just to kind of focus more on YouTube. Oh, y'all about to be preaching in here. Look, don't get me to shouting now. The Jen, Mickey's Image was asking Jen if she's gonna vlog tomorrow, her travel day. She's probably knowing Jen, she'll probably vlog some of her travel day, but it probably won't be coming out until like Wednesday-ish with like a full vlog. We'll see. On the go, y'all says we still want couch cruise. Okay, calm down. Okay, I'm gonna figure out the couch cruise situation. If MH and Jen don't mind, because apparently, like, we only the creators that we know on the ship are the creators that we know on the ship. So I'll see how Jen and maybe MH feel on Wednesday. But let me think about it. We'll figure it out. MH Family Adventure says, and some champagne and chocolates and macaroons in your cab in regards to perks. Jen says she has no plans for tomorrow. We'll be live at some point. Okay, so y'all make sure y'all tap into Jen Danielle tomorrow. She'll be live. What's tomorrow? Tuesday. She'll be live tomorrow at some point. And yes, Diamond Cruise will be it. Well, y'all, thank y'all. It's been almost 2 hours. But first off, well, thanks for Raquel from MSC Family Adventures for popping up impromptu, as well as the Jen Danielle experience for popping up impromptu, as I gave my trip announcement where I will be on MSC World America, my Diamond Cruise, on Saturday for the inaugural. However, you got to see two amazing creators, the Jen Danielle experience and Raquel from MSC Family Adventures, who will be starting to release content from MSC World America, as they will be on the preview cruise. So make sure that you lock into all their social media channels. They're going to be dropping out. This is the ship of the year. I'm claiming that this MSC World America, I believe, is the ship of the year, because MSC has had so much, it's been so much conversation about MSC. They have such a different type of cruising, but they've really been trying to refine themselves for the American market. So many of us are getting on board, looking to see, like, is MSC just taking this as a shipping company trying to have an extra hobby, or is MSC really like, no, we want to bring a consumer-oriented approach to cruising? Before y'all leave, make sure I have a couple of quick church announcements. Of course, we have, if you want to sail with me, you have some opportunities. The first is the Good Government Getaway, which is on Virgin Voyages on August 29th. So this Labor Day, August 29th to September 3rd on Virgin Voyages, Valiant Lady, heading to Puerto Plata and Bimini, Bahamas. So if you want to hop on that, you can email me at cwc@gmail.com. You saw the Jen Danielle experience pop up. Well, her and Sig the Solo Cruiser and I, this is an old flyer, but we are hosting the ultimate solo group cruise. So your favorite solo travelers are getting together to host you on Celebrity Reflection starting June 22nd through the 26th. This is in 2026. And the deposits are currently $100 per person. We are going to Bimini, Bahamas, as well as Royal Caribbean's Beach Club, which, if you have not been to Royal Caribbean's Coco Cay, you know that they have their new Hideaway Beach Club. So come along. Even though it's 3 beautiful women hosting, it's open to anyone. So it's open to male solo cruisers. It's open to families, friends. Come on. In 2026, I'm going to be hosting more of a meetup for the Good Government Getaway, since they're already be a cruise, but we're going to be eating and drinking around the world during Disney's Epcot Food and Wine Festival. So if you're interested in doing that, there's the QR code, or you can email me at cwc@gmail.com. And that one more of as a come as you are. You don't have to book through me. Let's just all eat and drink around the world at Epcot, which is one of my favorite holidays, festivals. And then last but not least, is Ships and Sips, which is the Facebook group that I have created, where we talk about books. We talk about books. We talk about scripts. We talk about shows on Facebook. And as soon as I get out here, I'll be approving some of your, I'm sure, requests. Wanted to make sure you all knew about those announcements. And a really big one, thank you. We appreciate you for sowing the seed, G Fox, that $9.99. That will maybe that'll put me on the swing. I heard the swing is $10. So, oh shoot. Well, we got another $9.99. So I definitely can afford the swing. So thank y'all. Okay, what I'll say is I want to use these 2 super chats to pay to get my butt up in that swing. As long as the line is not too crazy, y'all will get some swing content from me. I got to find somebody, the solo traveler, who can film it But I think y'all just got me up in the World America swing. So I appreciate y'all for assisting, because really a lot of this content is supported by like the channel members, you all for watching. So thank you, G. Thank you. Well, thank you, G. Thank you, Mickey's Adventure, for those super chats. Definitely appreciate it. And the content is coming. Oh, Regina's gonna be on board. Okay, so we got, and Regina, we got to make sure we do our review while we're on the ship. So I appreciate G for passing the authoring plate. Tune in. I'm gonna wrap this up for sure. Tune in on, so I fly out. Tune in on. First, I also got to thank somebody else who's not in here tonight, but she might be catching Team Replay. Thank you, Team Replay. But thank you to Leanne Travels for reaching out today, girl. You know what you did. That was another blessing for sure for the channel, Leanne. So I don't know if Leanne is in here, but thank you so much, Leanne. Greatly appreciate you for thinking of me. But on Saturday, I know Sail Away is at 4:30. Looking at the program, the cruise program is already, the cruise itinerary is already in the chat. It looks like at 4:30 the Sail Away is happening. So I'll probably go on a live around 4 to talk about first impressions, talk about the boarding day experience, and then turning the camera off of me and onto this epic sail away that will be MSC World America. So make sure that you either have your notification bells on or are subscribed if you're not already. All righty. Oh, we got another super chat. All right, so we got 2 super chats for a swing, and we got a drink. So we got $10 to go towards the drink package. So thank you. What kind of drink should I have, Turkisha? This will be my first drink. So whatever you say will be my first drink for $9.99. Let me know in the chat before I leave about what you want to see me record. That will be my first drink when I'm on the ship. So thank you. G Fox is holding y'all hostage, saying the blessings are dropping. Give them 5 more minutes. I definitely want to know what Turkisha wants me my first drink of the day to be. Or I can't even say first drink of the day, because congrats to Fane and Laura. They got first drink of the day is now trademarked. I gotta find my Fane and Laura shirt for this cruise. I have a feeling they might be popping up. I don't know. That's me, my sneaky suspicion. What else we got? Mickey's Adventure saying looking forward to all the content. Folks, Adventure says we're couch cruise. Okay, there will be a couch cruise. I just gotta organize it, y'all, because I want to make sure that it'll probably be Rockwell and Jen. So I gotta make sure that my couch cruise content is solidified. And if not, it might be a couch cruise live from the ship. We'll see. Keisha, you said what I'm drinking. She says, okay, she says that first drink has to be something that should be sweet and smooth like you. Okay. That sounds like a rum punch. G-Box, don't you put no. Oh, Gina's World. Thank you for sure. Okay, what am I gonna spend for that? That'll probably be my Ola Tacos money. Thank y'all. So I appreciate that for sure. All right, y'all. It is See It With C. Thanks for chatting with me. Like, comment, subscribe. I will see y'all on Saturday. But until next time, I will see you in the next video. G-Fox, somebody else, Sig. Oh, now Sig. Hold on, I can't click on the Gina's World says enjoy. Thank you. Sig. Oh my gosh, y'all. Y'all done paid for a whole lot of things. I didn't write a list. So I'm doing the swing. I'm having a sweet and smooth drink. I gotta have a mezcal margarita. So thank y'all. And a glass of wine. Yes. Look, now that's the easy one. I'm having a glass of wine right now. Thank y'all so much. I'm landing because y'all making me blush. All right. It's CWC. Thanks for chatting with me. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you next video.